We already started? Oh, shit. So, my friend, always, Mula Bandha. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, or I should say, the most transformative podcast in the world with your host, Dr. Derek Israel. This is the Mastermind Podcast Challenge. Season 2, and this is the episode 536. And folks, let me tell you something real quick. Today I don't have too much time because I need to be on a plane like in 2 hours. So what I will do this week for you that are doing the Mastermind Podcast Challenge, basically we are doing an episode daily, Monday through Friday. If you want to join us, subscribe to my station in Spotify, Mastermind Podcast, or to my YouTube channel, Dr. Derek Israel. So what I will be doing is that the next 4 episodes that are remaining this week, they will be shortcasts, and they will be pretty short, like 4 or 5 minutes only. So that will be very nice. It will be like a little bit of a rest after a very intense program that we have right here in the Mastermind Podcast Challenge, generally. So those are already pre-recorded, so I will not be transmitting live this week. That is because I need to be in a business trip, and I don't want to have the pressure of recording a podcast outside my studio. I have been done that before. It is not a very pleasing experience. Sometimes the quality is not the better. The internet gives problems. Uploading these big files is a thing. So, all right. So I will do that. I will act that strategy. But today I'm transmitting live right now, and let's go right into the subject of today. Also, this episode of today will be short. I will not give you unnecessary details. It's not that I do it other times, but sometimes I just feel more like relaxed and I can speak more, maybe about my stories or maybe about personal anecdotes. Today I will not do that too much because today I have a strict schedule of half an hour of the episode, but I will give you all the essential details that you need to know about applying forever as a mandatory spiritual rule, as a mandatory spiritual standard, as a mandatory spiritual law, what I called, or what it is named, because it's not that I invented the name, what is called Mula Bandha. So back in the day, I have an episode back in when I did the Mastermind Podcast Challenge Season 1 that I called The Fountain of Your Stamina, but it's in Spanish. It is called La Fuente de tu Estamina. Búscalo en mi canal de YouTube o en la Spotify station. So in that episode, I gave you the idea about the Kegel exercises. The Kegel exercises are a form of a biological and very physiological based approach of strengthening your and fortifying your muscles, your pelvic muscles. And I will be showing you here in my screen a little bit about what is a pelvic muscle. So if you're watching this in the YouTube channel, you will benefit more. Also in Spotify stations, I have the video uploaded there. So you will be seeing the visuals. So basically, no, this is the pelvic muscles. For those that doesn't know, this is in the woman anatomy. And here we have the vagina. Where is my clicker? Where is it? Okay, here. All right. So here is the vagina, right? And you can see here all of these pink muscles that are like controlling all the movements, basically all the superior movements of the vagina, the movement that connects the vagina with the uterus and with other essential reproductory organs of the woman. Also, it has influence of on the anus, on the rectum, and a lot of what we can call the core of a human being. All right. In the case of the woman, in the case of the man, it's pretty similar, but also have contact with the prostate, with the seminal uh, organ, also with the anus, with the penis, with everything that is essential for the male reproduction system. So basically, those are the Kegel muscles or the pelvic muscles. And in that old episode, the fountain of your stamina, I told you that doing those exercises, that is basically contracting those muscles, all right, in a consistent basis. You can search more information on that episode, or you just can Google Kegel exercises. Kegel, like Kegel, Kegel exercises, and you will know everything. Like, you can buy books about it. I have a couple of books about it. It's very, very essential. This is like the most spiritual and the most important muscle of all, in my opinion. I am not a anatomist and I am not a physiognomist, but in my opinion, that is the most important muscle of your entire body. So if you can strengthen that, if you can fortify that, you will be winning in life as hell. A lot of what I see myself so funny in the light today. I don't know. Maybe it's the shirt. By the way, this shirt, my daughter did it. I don't know if I already told you once. Oh, this is the second time that I put it. But yeah, it's a shirt made by my daughter, and I love it. It's my favorite shirt, like, forever. So I suggest that you look information about that episode if you want more kind of a perspective of the biological aspect of this episode of today. But you may ask, okay, Derek, yeah, that sounds cool. I will do it. Or maybe you say, Derek, I already listened to that episode. I already applying the Kegel exercises. All right, what is new? Why are you doing this episode called what? Mula Bandha? What the hell is that? And what this is all how this is all connected with the Kegel exercises and the pelvic floor and the core of the human being and the human consciousness. Well, this is how this is all interconnected, because the Kegel exercises is how biology and the medical part of it sees and interpret doing these exercises in the pelvic muscles. But every biological and physical exercise and dimension have a spiritual correlation. All right, everything have a spiritual correlation. So in yoga and in meditation and in very antique or past or old paradigms of spirituality, this thing about contracting those muscles, about strengthening those muscles, this thing has been a thing for a long time. And they didn't have biology, like very sophisticated biology, to explain it. So how they did it, where they called this a bandha, specifically Mula Bandha, because this is not the only bandha that exists. And we can define a bandha as a portal of energy. If you know about nadis and how chi or prana, depending if you are interpreting, vital energy as an Asian perspective, you will call it chi. If you are interpreting more in a Hindu perspective, you will call it prana, but it's the same thing. It is the same energy. Libido, or just psychical or astral light, is also synonym of this kind of substance that is vitalizing the human experience. So I forgot the point. So So yeah, this is not the only banda that exists. We have a different type of bandas, and all bandas are like a portal or like a controller for the energy. Okay, they are like mechanics for the energy that is will be circulating through your body. So if you are very into spiritual development, and if you are very into sophisticating your consciousness, you are all about transmuting energy. That is the whole deal. That is the whole deal of spirituality. You are transmuting energy, and you can do that with the help of the bandas. So let me show you, and this is very important that you see this image. So if you're watching only the audio, listening only the audio, hey, consider coming here to the video, maybe for this visual. Here I have a woman. It's obviously a picture of, or a drawing of a woman. That here you can see three of the major bandas that exist in this metaphysical theory. The first one here, very, very in the core, exactly when the pelvic floor or the pelvic muscles are located, and exactly where the first chakra or the root chakra is located, we have the Mula Bandha. You can see it right here. Then we have one that is called the Uddiyana Bandha, and another that is called the Jaladhara Bandha. And those maybe I will do an episode on the future. But for now, let's just focus on the Mula Bandha, because I think that this is the most fundamental one and the most important one. But the others I can do an episode on, more ahead in our schedule. So stay tuned for those. So here I have a picture of how a very good Mula Bandha sees, like how you can see a very good Mula Bandha applied. So this man, this guru or this yogi is applying, and notice how he's pushing inside and upwards all the area of his abdomen and lower abdomen, where the pelvic floors and where the Mula Bandha energetically will be uh, located. So this is like a visual representation of how an exercise or a contraction of the Mula Bandha looks like in the outside. Now, this guy that I showed you in the picture, he's doing it in a very powerful and extremist way. So he's pushing everything up. Sometimes with the Mula Bandha, no one will see that you are contracting the Mula Bandha, because you will have no external obvious kind of a manifestation like in that picture. Sometimes you are just contracting very little, and that is a good application also. So don't get extremist. That guy, he's doing it like that because maybe he's doing a session of yoga in which he's pushing very hard, but I'm assure you that he's not every day like that. Like, it is impossible to be so contracted every day. But what is essential, and this is the central idea of this podcast, and the direct challenge for you for the rest of your life. This is not only for the time that remain in this challenge, in this 300 challenge podcast that we are doing. No, no, no. This is for the rest of your life. This is the central idea. Mula Bandha, the contracting of the pelvic muscles in a lock. It is called a lock. You are locking in the muscles. And the aspect of that is spiritual, because remember, when we are talking about Mula Bandha, we are not talking about only contraction. That is Kegel. That is Kegel exercises. No, no, no. Mula Bandha is about contraction, intention, spiritual concentration, and reverberation of the energy, or retrogression of the energy, or, basically coming back or drawing upwards the energy, the Kundalini energy, back into your more superior consciousness for a divine union between the downward aspect of reality and the upwards or superior aspects of reality, in order to collapse the multiverses. All right. This is a big deal. And what I mean by collapsing the multiverses is collapsing consciousness in itself in a way that will rest in love and enlightenment and peace and equanimity forever. This is basically what? This is our goal. This is our goal. This is what we are striving. We may get there, we may not. Who cares? The only one who cares is your ego. The spirit only cares about the process and about doing the yoga and about doing the meditation, about doing the pranayama and about doing the exercises, because this is how we choose to express. Spirituality is expression, and this is how we choose to express. And the central idea of this whole episode is that you must apply Mula Bandha when, you may ask, forever and always for the rest of your life. This is it, folks. This is it. The central idea is that you must be applying Mula Bandha always, 24/7, every time that you can remind yourself, because you will forget. And you may say, okay, Derek, so how I do it, how I apply that? Well, first, you need to learn how to do the Kegel exercises. They are very easy to do. Just imagine that you are, having a pee in the bathroom and someone is knocking the door and you are like, oh my God, what do? Like, you contract the muscles in order to stop peeing, right? And then you can say, hey, I'm busy, I'm coming like very soon, and then you can relax the muscles and then you start peeing again. Well, how do you contract the muscles? Well, you do it with your mind, right? But when the muscles are contracted, you have the Kegel exercises applied. So you must have the muscles contracted every time. Now, by having only the muscle contracted every time, you are not doing Mula Bandha. But also you must combine this technique with breathing, very profound breathing that is always going exactly to the point of the Mula Bandha. It exactly going to the root chakra. You also can apply visualization. You can apply, visualizing energy that is transmuting in that area, that is transforming in that area. In alchemy, they teach you, if you read about alchemy, they teach you about how you can create new spiritual realities through this very similar type of process in which you visualize how you are manipulating the energy in your Mula Bandha. All right. So you have contraction, you have breathing, you have visualization, and very important, you should be consciously drawing the energy up from your genitals, from your core, okay, to your brain. That is essential. Why? Okay, I will explain you why. Because that is how you will develop uh, universal consciousness. You will not develop universal consciousness only focus on the Mula Bandha. Okay, you need to sophisticate the energy. You need to bring the energy to the ultimate dimensions of the human body, or sorry, of the spiritual body, of the spiritual collective body. The last dimension basically is the crown chakra, because that is kind of the connection between the dimension that connects your ego with everything else, with the superposition of the electron. With every possibility, with every multiverse, with everything that exists forever. And basically, when you are applying Mula Bandha, you are kind of first like centering your energy, then transmuting your energy, and then basically fusing that energy with the everything else energy, and you are becoming one with everything. And we can call that operating in God mode. I have an episode that is called How to Operate in God Mode. Please search that for more information in my YouTube channel or Spotify station. You see. And you may say, Derek, but that is impossible. How I will do that forever, dude? It's like I'm trying to do it right now. I'm like, Okay, and I can do it for a couple of seconds, but I get tired or I forget. What is the deal? Dude, the deal is exactly as you do with pranayama, with respirations, with meditation. You can, the goal is to do it every day. The goal of meditation is to meditate 24/7. What I call what I call the perennial or eternal meditation. The real meditation is the one that happens when you open your eyes. When you are meditating with your eye closed, it's kind of a meditation. The real meditation is in the daily life, in the karma yoga, as in Hindu is called. I have a course, a full course that I teach you everything that you need to do and to know about meditation. You can find it in derekisrael.com, and it is called 29 Days of Meditation with Dr. Derek Israel. So search it on my YouTube, on my derekisrael.com. So exactly with meditation and pranayama, you know that you should be breathing very, very deeply. And I will be launching a new episode this week that is called Tell Me How You Breathe, and I will tell you who you are. Because we know that we should be breathing very spiritually, but we cannot do it every day, right? We cannot do it every time. It's kind of a struggle. Well, with the Mula Bandha, with applying this principle, with applying this power, it is the same. We cannot do it every time. We will forget sometimes. We will get distracted, and that is okay. But the whole point of this is that every time that you remember, oh man, I feel so relaxed down there in my nucleus. Remember, the root chakra, and this is very important. The root chakra, and basically the root chakra is kind of the same as the Mula Bandha. When you are applying Mula Bandha, basically what you are doing is like empowering the root chakra. You are basically like squeezing the root chakra in order to drag all the energy upwards. That's what you do in the Mula Bandha. And also, there is a book that is called Mula Bandha. Just Google the book, Mula Bandha book, and read the book. It's a very short book, and you will have extra information for those of you that want more information about this critical subject of personal development and spiritual evolution. So, the whole deal is that we want to do this every time, although we're going to forget sometimes. But what is very important to know is that your root chakra is the interface in which material and spiritual worlds collapse into each other and meet for the first time. We can call that metaphysical conjunction. And if you study alchemy, you know about this. Like, okay, I have a Spanish episode that is called Introduction to Alchemy, Introducción a la Alquimia. Búscalo en mi canal de YouTube if you want to know more information about alchemy. So when you are practicing Mula Bandha, because you are meditating and contracting the muscle or the spiritual muscle or the spiritual vortex, all right, that is another subject that I recommend you to look, spiritual vortex, because you are squeezing that. Basically, what you are squeezing is the interconnection between physical reality and your spiritual dimensions. So that is very powerful what you are doing there, folk. All right. So therefore, you will have a lot of benefits of doing that. And also you will have a lot of bad consequences if you don't do it. Let me tell you some of the bad consequences if you don't do it, because let me just attack your fear buttons, because sometimes attacking fear buttons people awake. If we only attack love buttons or conscious buttons, people it's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense, blah 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 blah, but they don't kind of make a substantial change. But if I tell you, man, you're gonna die if you don't do it, you're like, oh, all right, tell me more, because the amygdala and the fear is so powerful in your brain. So let me tell you some of the things. If you want to do magic and you don't apply Mula Bandha, you will be a nasty magician, and that is a fact. What I mean by that, if you are doing any type of magic, any type of spiritual operation, you need to have control of spiritual energies. And if you are not applying Mula Bandha, for example, if you are doing sex magic, if you are manifesting through the orgasm, these are stuff that I teach you in my sexual mastery course in derekisrael.com. Check that out if you want more information. If you are trying to manifest during the orgasm and you are not applying Mula Bandha, you know, the whole spell and the whole operation, the whole spiritual forces and motions and powers that you are, putting into action in the world, they will be diffused. So I don't know if you saw the movie, the new movie about the different Spider-Mans. Like they joined, all three Spider-Mans join in this new Marvel movie. And, in one of the scenes, there's Doctor Strange. Basically, he's the archetype of the magician. And he's doing a spell, right? And this is in the beginning of the movie. I will not spoil something significant. But he's doing a spell. The adolescent Spider-Man distract him, and he lose the spell, and the spell goes wrong, and then he open a bad portal. That is a good metaphor what happened when you are trying to do magic, when you are trying to do law of attraction, when you are trying to engineering a projection, like something, a reality that you want to manifest in life. If you are doing it without Mula Bandha applied, it's like your whole spell will diffuse and you can open bad stuff. You can open black magic portals because you don't have a good center. When you are doing a magical operation, you have to have a good center. It is the same if you are trying to lift a weight, right? It's like a 500 weight, in this crazy example, and you don't have a good core. You do like, and you will break your back, right? You will break your back and you are dead because your core in this physical example is, weak. In the exact proportion is this about the Mula Bandha. If your capacity of locking your root chakra with determination of spirit, that is basically what is Mula Bandha. If you are not doing this in a daily basis, specifically when you are doing your spiritual operations, your sexual operations, your conscious operations, dude, you will lack power. You will lack potency. And then you will say, oh my gotcha, those things that Derek teach and other spiritual gurus teach, that is bullshit. They just want their money. They just want me to go to their courses and blah, 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 blah. No, dude, that is not the thing. Well, we want you to go to our courses because definitely we will teach you more there. And also we can benefit economically. This is a business. We are doing a good business right here, right? We are not poisoning the world with Coca-Cola. We are, teaching spirituality and making a buck and a living with it. But that is not the thing. The real thing is that we want you to teach you the real thing. And the real thing is that without Mula Bandha, will be very difficult for you to sustain very, very powerful states of being in the spiritual realm, like very high pranayama states, very high, compassionate states. Without the Mula Bandha, you don't have nothing that is encompassing the experience. Just visualize the Mula Bandha as a force that is always compressing the spiritual experience in order for you to benefit the most of it. Because if you have all the energy spread, you only will take like a 1%. But if you have all the energy organized and channeled, in a very good direction, in a very good chakra alignment, starting with the foundation, that is the Mula Bandha and the root chakra, very solid, very concentrated, and very contracted, then you have a powerful story, and then you have a powerful kind of operation to conduct. So don't be a bad magician. Don't be a demon. Work with that muscle, work with that vortex. This will benefit you. Obviously, sexually, this will benefit. You will have more control of your orgasm. You will have more control of your ejaculation. You will have more control of your movements, your fine movements with your hips when you're having sex. This will help you with the law of attraction. This will help you to feel grounded. For example, if you are feeling very anxious in an exam, You do the Mula Bandha, you start calming yourself. This also have a correlation with your immune system. So every time that you contract the Mula Bandha, you strengthen and fortify your immune system. So this is very good to preventing sicknesses. I have a baby daughter. So she's 3 years old. Maybe she's not that baby anymore, but hey, it's my baby in my eyes. Anyways, and sometimes she gets sick. She's a child, she's always in the park, and oh man, these children are like uh a fountain of bacteria and viruses, and she's always coming here sick. Her mother, she doesn't practice a lot the Mula Bandha. She practices a little bit, not so much. So her mother always gets sick with her. But I only have gone sick once or maybe twice, like, because why? Why? One of the determinants is that I always have the Mula Bandha luck. And I can see them sick in my face, like coughing in my face. I am hugging my daughter and she's putting all her mucus in my face. And I am with Mula Bandha applied every time because I know that I'm fighting those bacteria. I'm fighting those viruses, right? I'm fighting those germs. But I have the Mula Bandha applied. And hey, I am not impenetrable. I can get sick, but I feel that I can get less sick if I do it. Like, I have an extra protection. This is not a solution for all. I am not telling you that if you have cancer, you can apply Mula Bandha and the cancer will be gone. I am telling you that at least it helps a lot. So if you have cancer and you apply Mula Bandha, you may feel better and you may exacerbate your health. Apply it, and see your results. This is not a miracle, but it's something that works very, very good. Also, it gives me, as I told you, groundness, centeredness, all right, and power. Every time that I need to do something with power, for example, if I will do a podcast, I have right now the Mula Bandha applied. Where do you think that this power comes from? Do you think that this power is fake? No, it is not. Well, I have practiced a couple of, things that I do in the podcast, and this is a continuous rehearsal, and definitely that helps. But the power that I have, the power that you can feel, the vibration that you can inevitably feel, these come from my power. These come from my Mula Bandha. This comes from my root. You can feel it. It's my essence. I cannot fake it. I cannot fake it. This is my core. This is my Mula Bandha. So every time that I may be nervous or I will speak in public, or every time that I need to do a project that is demanding a lot of cognition and thinking and strategizing, I will apply Mula Bandha. Also, if I'm sleepy and I need to finish a task, I will apply Mula Bandha. I feel that gives me an extra half an hour or an hour of energy. Obviously, when you will not apply Mula Bandha, there's some moments in which you will not apply. So I know that I put in the title always Mula Bandha because I want to be extremist. I want the title to be like, what the hell is that? Right? But yeah, there's no moments in which you don't need to apply it. For example, when you are sleeping, man, obviously I probably do not apply it in my sleep. So yeah, don't forget about it when you're sleeping. Sometimes when you want to relax a lot in sex, you can just disengage the Mula Bandha. Why? Because the Mula Bandha will intensify the orgasm, definitely. But also sometimes in sex, you want to just release everything. Some of the sexual operations is just about releasing, right? So if a sexual operation that you are having, you want to be all releasing, well, also release the Mula Bandha. Also, if you are practicing being more yin and having more feminine energy in sex, also disapply Mula Bandha, because when you're having sex with a woman, if you're a man, for example, and if you want to absorb the yin, You cannot beat with the Mula Bandha apply, because the Mula Bandha apply is basically a lock that is not letting energy getting out and energy getting in. It's like you are concentrated in your core, in your universe. You are concentrated in that. When you disapply the Mula Bandha, basically energy can go out and energy can go in. So if you are like working with yin and yang forces through sex or other type of exercises, you may also consider just to drop out the Mula Bandha for a while, just to have that operation conducted. Also, when other times I just don't apply it. Sometimes also you will feel tired. Like sometimes you will be pushing so hard in your Mula Bandha as in everything else that you should be pushing in your spirituality journey. And sometimes, your muscle will be tired. They are like every other muscle. They are like having a tricep every time, like contracted. You will get tired sometimes. And that is okay that you let go. But just notice that the muscle will strengthen and it will be getting easier and easier with practice. So I have been practicing the Mula Bandha thing like 5 or 6 years, and the Kegel muscles thing like for 10 or more years. And right now I have like a extreme powerful pelvic muscle. Like it's a thing. Like my wife told me a couple of days ago, like, oh my God, dude, what the hell is this muscle? It's like this muscle is your muscle is like a arm. Like in my eyes, I will not tell you all the details how she knew, but I think that you can get it right. So you will notice like I'm getting better down there, right? And that is also gonna benefit you, with your abs, with your core treatment and your core training, with your back pains, with getting stronger in your arms, getting stronger in your feet, getting stronger in your legs, because your core is connected with everything else in the body. So you will strengthen everything. All right, so my alarm is saying, man, you need to get out of here. You need to go and pick up a plane. So I will stop here. I hope that the message went through. You have a task, all right? You have a task of reading about Kegel exercises if you haven't already. And then you can read about the Mula Bandha directly. Remember that there is a book that is called Mula Bandha, the same name. Just buy the book. Um, and now you have a long term practice forever of applying the Mula Bandha for always. Like you need to have that consciousness that is always observing. Do I have my right now? I am not pushing right now. I'm pushing. Like I just observe, and every time that I catch myself being sloppy, being relaxed, I say, hey, 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 hey. And there's another thing. This is a thing about being, on purpose, right? Because if you determine to get a muscle strengthened and you don't do it, it's about being out of purpose. You are out of purpose, out of discipline. So this is also something that will impact your discipline, will impact your ability and capacity to stay true to your own values and your own intentions and goals in life. So always, my friend, Mula Bandha. All right. Um, Please share this episode with your friends in your social media. Leave a comment below and share your thoughts. I will be answering them. And please go to derekisrael.com. This is the store. There you can find our Patreon, in which you can donate at least $5 per month to become this to make this podcast sustainable, and we're gonna be able to keep transforming thousands of lives around the world. Also in derekisrael.com you can find the books that are coming, the consulting service, my coaching service 101, and maybe you want that. So go to derekisrael.com, and I see you in our next episode this week. It will be awesome. All right, So thank you, and I see you in the next episode. Remember, always what? Always what? Always what?